Shalom. Thank you all for joining me on the journey into the fascinating story of Doña Gracia Nasi. When I was a child walking the streets of Istanbul with my father, he told me about Doña Gracia, the Queen of the Jews, a Jewish leader and international businesswoman who risked and dedicated her life to save the people of Israel. It's an honor to tell the story of a brave and heroic crypto-Jewish woman of Sfarad, a heroine who reveals Jewish faith and determination living in the stormy 16th century in a male world and in a world of religious struggles between Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. A woman with vision and initiative who stood firm against kings and queens and supported crypto-Jews and Jews in general. The hatred and the persecution of the Jews in Catholic Spain led to the riots of 1391. Many have been converted by force, and the phenomenon of the crypto-Judaism began. The golden age of the Jews of Spain ended on the 9th of Av, 1492, when Kings Ferdinand and Isabella expelled the Jews from Spain. Some converted to Christianity to remain in Spain, others remained Jewish and left for the Ottoman Empire or moved to Portugal. 5 years after the deportation, there was a mass forced conversion in Portugal, and from that day there was not a single Jew in the Iberian Peninsula. Beatriz de Luna, Doña Gracia, was born in 1510 in Portugal to a crypto-Jewish family. Her character, courage, and accent fascinated me, and I choose to tell her story in my book, Doña Gracia's Gold Pendant. The novel is based on a deep research, but as a writer, I had the freedom to use my imagination. According to the custom of the crypto-Jews, at the age of 12, the secret of her Judaism was revealed to her, and she learned that her real name was Doña Gracia Nasi, carrying a spiritual will that the candle of Israel will never be extinguished and the chain of the generation of Israel remains unbroken. She got married when she was 18 with Francesco Mendes Rabbi Tzemach, who owned the firm The House of Mendes. After the birth of her only daughter, Anna Reina, her husband died. One of the main motives in the book is follow the money. King Juan wanted to take over the fortune of the Mendes family. And in that year, the terrible Inquisition was established in Portugal, and the crypto-Jewish community was in terror. Doña Gracia, with courage and feminine daring at age 25, manages to get permission to leave Lisbon with her daughter Anna, her beautiful sister Brianda, her 2 nephews, and her huge capital. She sails to London and from there to Antwerp, where her brother-in-law Diego runs the House of Mendes branch in Flanders. As a widow, Doña Gracia was permitted to manage the business of the House of Mendes. And with her brother-in-law Diego, who married her sister Brianda, they enlarged the family firm and expanded the Mendes bank, lent money to kings, nobles, and merchants, and imported spices from the new colonies. At the same time, in Portugal, the Portuguese Inquisition persecuted the new Christians, arrested, tortured, and burned them alive. The horror and the fear from the terror of the Inquisition caused a mass escape from Portugal, and therefore the City Council of Milan decided to establish a special committee to investigate the immense wave of immigration of new Christians, and many of them were arrested. Doña Gracia and Diego started a daring rescue enterprise while risking their life and fortune to save the new Christians refugees of the Inquisition. They set up an underground to rescue the new crypto-Jews from Christian Europe to the Ottoman Empire, who welcomed them with open arms. Doña Gracia and Diego hired ships, bribed ships owners and innkeepers, provided guards, food, and gave the refugees money that enabled them to start a new life. Unfortunately, Diego Mendes was arrested for being a Jew. He was released but died shortly afterward. In his surprising will, he divided his property between his daughter and his sister-in-law, Doña Gracia, while dispossessing his wife of the inheritance. Queen Mary attempted to appropriate the inheritance money by forcing Doña Gracia to marry her beautiful daughter Anna to an old Christian nobleman. Doña Gracia stayed true to her faith as a secret Jew. With courage and daring, she refused to submit to the queen's demand. In 1545, she escaped on winding roads at mountain passes while the emperor's soldiers chasing them. She arrived in Lyon following her business, and from there to Venice, capital of the world. In Venice, she visits the Jewish ghettos, where for the first time she met people practicing Judaism openly. The jealousy of the huge fortune her sister inherited brings Brianda to inform her sister Doña Gracia to the Inquisition, and Doña Gracia was arrested. Her nephew, Don Yosef Nasi, turned to the Turkish Sultan, and Sultan Suleiman threatens Venice in war, and the authorities released Doña Gracia. She leaves Venice and moved to Ferrara. In Ferrara, Doña Gracia's Jewish feeling intensifies. She didn't want to live in a double identity. With a lot of courage, she took off the mask and returned to Judaism. Her ambition to spread the Torah for many crypto Jews that didn't know Hebrew brings her to fund the translation of the Bible to Ladino. Bible Ferrara was the first printed Bible. But the troubles continued. There was an epidemic in Ferrara. The old Christians blamed the new Christians, and they were deported from the city. Doña Gracia decided to move east and live openly as a Jew. In 1553, Doña Gracia arrived in Turkey and was accepted by Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent by great honor. She established synagogues, donated money to charity, and supported the rabbis. While she was in Constantinople, Istanbul, she found out that the new pope in Ancona, Italy, cancelled the right of the former new Christians who returned to Judaism to live and trade in Ancona, and accused them for heresy. Although Doña Gracia tried with the intervention of Sultan Suleiman to rescue them, the Inquisition burned 24 Jews while alive in auto-de-fe ceremony in the town square. Doña Gracia Nasi, who lived between the two worlds of Christianity and Judaism, decided that the horrible act of burning Jews must not be passed over in silence. With extraordinary daring and political vision, Doña Gracia, Queen of the Jews, initiated and led a bold political move. She received consent from the rabbis and announced a naval economy boycott on Ancona, city of the Pope. Doña Gracia, the first Zionist, was ahead of her time. She had the vision of returning to Zion. She understood that a Jewish settlement in the land of Israel is the only solution for the persecution of the Jews. In 1562, at her request, Doña Gracia Nasi received from Sultan Suleiman a firman, royal permit to settle the city of Tiberia, and works has begun. But sadly, she passed away in 1569 before fulfilling her vision completely. Doña Gracia's heritage is a story of courageous and visionary Jewish leader who dedicated her life to the saving of her people and returning to Zion. The story demonstrates a woman's tenacity and strength, setting an example and inspiration. The legacy of Doña Gracia Nasi emphasizes the triumph of the human spirit, as also the mutual responsibility and common destiny of the people of Israel. Thank you.